Hello. So I'm going to show you this little thing I do that's really helpful for my shoulder when it's loading weight into the shoulder in a really supported position so that it feels really safe, and then wiggling the rest of the body around it. So there's two different positions. The first is bent elbow loading. So we're gonna kind of be in like a push-up position, but instead of our hips facing forward, we're gonna be turned to the side. So like this, and you see how all these little muscles in here and the muscles in my tricep, they're all kind of getting scrunched up, which is a really good thing because we're trying to wake up those back muscles and all these little rotators in here. So we get it like that, and then what the tendency will be is for the shoulder to be pitched forward, and the way we counter that is by sliding our body up more. So now I'm putting it in a little bit better position, like that. And then from there, I'm turning to my side, and I'm using this other hand to kind of like position my body. So I get like this, and then I'm going like that, and like this, like that, and like this. And I'm gradually bringing this leg up to just change the hip position so that we're changing the tension relationship between the hips and the shoulders and helping there to be more fluidity in our shoulder connection. So there you go. Like that. Like that. And so now I have my hip up pretty good. And now I can take this knee forward and kind of wiggle that about. I'm also, can't see it, but I'm also nodding my head and doing that. So there's a lot of things to play with. The big thing is to have this shoulder loaded properly. So when it's really easy in this position for the shoulder to want to come forward and in. And so finding how we can have it be in a good position while we're in a challenging function is really powerful. Then the next thing, you do basically the same thing, but instead of bent arm loading, we're just going to load the whole arm. So now I'm putting weight into the shoulder, and right now it's a little pitched forward. So what I'm going to do is move the rest of my body relative to the shoulder. So I moved my torso forward, and then I also moved my torso up. And so now you can see this is in a really nice functional position. And then from here, I'm doing that same hip game. So I'm taking this knee and then moving the hip forward. So it's like moving the knee up and then shooting the hip towards the knee. And that's kind of loading the shoulder in a bunch of really interesting ways. And you can even play with turning the wrist. How are you doing that? So by turning the wrist, I can do a hand-initiated movements. So I start to turn the wrist, and that turns my shoulder, and that turns my torso, and I go all the way like that. And then another thing that we can play with is, once we have this hip forward, is bringing the other hip into the game. So it'll do all different sorts of vectors and directions to your torso, which is connected to your shoulders, so it'll help loosen things up. So right now I'm getting really nice engagement. I'll even play with making a fist and really seeing if I can tighten up my tricep and like Terry's muscles and all these lat muscles, and just kind of getting some engagement in there and then letting that go. And I'll play with bringing this up like that, like that. And so now I have my hips almost facing the ceiling with this leg still on the ground, but I'm getting really nice shoulder extension. And back down. And now my shoulder's getting all kinds of blood flow, and all the muscles are alive, and a lot of the stagnation and little cricketies are not there anymore, because we're teaching the shoulder how to feel really safe no matter what else is going on in the body. It's allowed to stay in its position because it's loaded and supported while we're moving the rest of the body. And that helps us both integrate and unwind old like compensation patterns or like tensions that are here. When we train all of this, and we're getting those muscles to come back online that are maybe turned off, that will be good for us.